I highly suggest, as you guys are coming towards the end of your meal, either you or her will go to the restroom. If she goes to the restroom, square away the bill very quickly. If you know that you're done with your meal, you're not going to order anything else, or vice versa. If you go to the restroom at the end of the meal, just square away the bill while you're going to the restroom. And once again, this is another era of effortlessness. There is no bill at the end, you fumbling for your wallet, trying to pay, trying to maintain conversation while that's happening. Now, I know there might be a very small, stupid subsection of you that are going, wait, but if I do that, how do we split the bill? If you are still the sort of guy that thinks you should go on a date and split the bill with a woman, please just unsubscribe to my channel. You don't belong here. You belong in the kiddie sandpit playing with the other children. You are not a man. And I understand not everyone grew up.
Males are very, very good at faking it. They'll fake it till they make it, okay? They're like super epic liars, all right? Super epic liars, all right? So they'll go on YouTube and watch these same videos that we might be watching, and then they'll go out there and like just implement all these things without actually being that person. The only thing that fixes this problem, from what I've found, is time, okay? You have to let them wear themselves out. Okay, so they can show you who they really are, okay? And you can't see that if you rush in and sleep with them, okay? So minimum 1 to mis amores, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están haciendo? Espero que están teniendo un muy buen día y también un muy buen semana. Si me quieren decir de eso, déjenlo in the comments below. Hi, my loves. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good week. So I'm back with another video, okay? So, all right. In this video, we're gonna hear and listen to a 1%er man speak. One thing that I've noticed in even doing even more research on the 1% man, is what they call themselves online, the 1% man. Even one thing that I've noticed is that like some of them will make a good video, you know, but then when you look into their channel, their actual YouTube channel, they're actually teaching males how to be a player. It's so weird. So it's like so important to take a look at what they're saying. But when we go out there in the real world, ladies, again, I always put this in every video because I know males like to fake it till they make it, but they can only fake it for so long. So I always tell you in every video, and even in the ones recently that I've posted where we've talked about the 1% man and what we're looking for in the 1% man, I tell you, the vetting process needs to be a minimum of 1 to 2 years. You need to make sure that the characteristics that this guy is portraying and claiming that he has, you have to make sure that it's actually real. You have to make sure that it's not a facade, that it's not fake, that he's not faking it to him, he makes it. And also, don't give him the punani. You can't give him the punani in that time, because then you reward him and you're not even sure if this is the real person that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Because go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. Okay. Love you so much. Thank you so much. Helps out the channel so much. Again, males are very, very good at faking it. They'll fake it till they make it. Okay. They're like super epic liars, all right? Super epic liars, all right? So they'll go on YouTube and watch these same videos that we might be watching, and then they'll go out there and like just implement all these things without actually being that person, right? So then, I mean, it becomes our job. Now we have to protect ourselves against these liars, because most of them are liars, okay? The things that we're looking for as ladies, a lot of times, like if you're seeing every single box checked off, that's enough of a reason to definitely make sure that you're waiting a minimum of 1 to 2 years. You don't sleep with him during that time. You don't allow him in your vicinity, in your environment, for extended periods of time during that time. The only thing that fixes this problem, from what I've found, is time, okay? You have to let them wear themselves out. Okay, so they can show you who they really are, okay? And you can't see that if you rush in and sleep with them, Okay. So minimum 1 to 2 years. Okay. That alone, I mean, if he's not willing to wait 1 to 2 years, then he must not be that serious about you. Okay. Because when a man is really serious about you, he'll be there. You know what I mean? Like, so if all he's looking for is to have sex with you and for you to give up the punani, and he's not even giving you nothing in return, it's not like he's your husband. It's not like you're married. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's a girlfriend? A girlfriend isn't even really, that's not even a real title. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy could be doing anything behind your back. And if you find out he's cheating, what are you going to get if your title is a girlfriend? You're not going to get jack squat. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a term that's legally protected. You're not getting anything. So really, it's the art of deception. A lot of males, if not all males, are very, very good at the art of deception. Okay. They're very good at lying. They're liars. Okay. So they'll make it seem like, oh, I'm giving you this and that. In the meantime, I'm giving you this. I'm in your life. I'm da 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 da. But they're actually not doing anything for you. Okay. If something goes wrong, think about, okay, what's my insurance policy? If something goes wrong, if this male cheats, if he starts talking about you behind your back, if he does something crazy that you don't like, what are you going to get? After all the time that you spent, after opening your legs up, what are you going to get in return, right? That's going to be of equivalent value to you opening your legs up for this subpar male species. You have to think in that way. Okay. So the only thing that can really remedy that situation, ladies, is time. You can't sleep with them. I'm sorry. I used to say 6 months. I don't think 6 months is enough. I think it has to be a minimum of a year, 1 to 2 years, because that's also the same amount of time. That's more than enough time for a male to know if he wants to be with you, if he wants to commit to you. Even if you don't go the marriage route, there's other legal contracts that you both can sign that will make it a little bit more legitimate, you know what I mean, when it comes to legalities of things. And so a year and a half to 2 years, it's more than enough time to know. Most men know way before the end of the year mark. So if you're sitting there waiting a whole year and he's not even showing signs of being willing to legally commit in any way, he's for the streets. He's not serious about you. Okay. Most men, they know almost instantaneously. They know really, really fast. It doesn't take long. Okay. So you need to use that to your benefit. It doesn't take them long to know. So that means you lose less time. You don't have to waste as much time with this male. Okay. But with most males, no. I mean, within the first 6 months, they know. You know what I mean? And you'll be able to tell by their actions how serious they are. So in order to be clear-minded, in order to really evaluate them, you can't go around busting it open. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta keep your legs closed. Okay. And so as long as you keep your legs closed, all of these little games that they like to play, useless. Okay. Useless. It's not gonna work. It does not work. If you keep your legs closed, all these little games that these males like to play, it ain't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. They're just gonna have to wait for you to be comfortable, for you to be sure about them. And all that stuff takes time, because you need to know that what they're portraying is who they really are. And that takes time. You need to really look at it for a minimum of a year to see, okay, what's the true character of this individual? See what I'm saying?
Now, the first step to being a high value man is never ever, in a genuine, serious manner, in a genuine, serious conversation, refer to yourself as a high value male. I see this time and time again. Men say that they're a high value male and go tell their girlfriend to make them a coffee while they live at home with their mother. Listen, I'm going to be very honest and real with you. There is pretty much no one in the whole manosphere, red pill space that is actually about it. I know their personal lives, I know behind the scenes, and most of these men are dating subpar women or don't have real respect or can hold frame with the woman that they're with. The reason is they are so busy screaming how high value they are rather than being it. You need to be, not do. It needs to be effortless. You think guys like Drake or guys like Brad Pitt in day-to-day conversations, listen, it's one thing on YouTube when you've got a title and a theme for the video, that's one thing. You think Drake and Brad Pitt are telling their friends or girls are dating or their wife, I'm so high value, look at me. No. You might say, oh, they're celebrities. Okay, let's talk about the YouTube game, for example. You think someone like Patrick Bet-David, which is one of the only few people I genuinely, truly respect and look up to in this whole social media bullshit, influencer, this, that space. I can tell you right now, he's not sitting at dinner tables telling people just how high value he is. So in this video, I will use the terms high value, top 1%, but in day-to-day life, I just say simply that a man is of integrity, a man is of honor, a man is of substance, a man has character. For me, that's how I would describe
integrity, honor, substance, character. Integrity, honor, substance, character. Those are all the things that I talked about and that we talked about in the video that I put out. It's titled the 1%. The 1% man demolishes all other man all other males. The 1% man demolishes all other males. So if you haven't watched that video, the full video, because we also chopped it up into um, shorter videos because we know that the full video is a little bit longer than intended. Go ahead and make sure to watch that video. These are all the same things that we're looking for, ladies. Integrity, character, values. All right. And so he's right. I mean, in real life, you're not going to go around. I mean, for us ladies, this is not an issue for us because we're not men. So we don't really care what they refer to themselves as. All we know and all what we care about is what we're looking for. Okay. And what we're looking for are the characteristics, right? So if you're wondering, okay, what are those characteristics? Again, go back to that video that I just mentioned earlier on the 1% male. Okay. What the 1% man sounds like and looks like. Now that was a really, really good video with really, really good content from a male that portrayed himself to be a 1%. Now I'm not sure if he's really actually a 1% because I did go on his channel and really a lot of the videos on there, he was just teaching other men how to be players. He really wasn't teaching them how to be authentic, how to be genuine. You know what I mean? So the most that we can do is really just extract the information via the words that were coming out of his mouth. But he himself, I don't know, it didn't seem like he's actually a 1% man. Seemed like he's just a poser. And I thought he was, and then I got on his channel today and I was like, oh, he's not. He's actually just fake, right? Because the rest of his channel is just teaching men basically how to lie to women and how to fake it till fake it. I don't even know if it was till make it. I didn't see any till make it there, But anyway, so yeah, he's right. But us as women, we don't care what they choose to call themselves, whatever, okay? As long as you have the characteristics that we're looking for, okay? So, what are your morals? What are your ethics? What are you coming with? What are your skill sets? What's your income, all right? Resources. Do you have resources? Can you provide resources? All of these things, that's what we're looking for. So if you want to call that amongst each other high value or 1%, whatever, that's up to you. Now, for the purposes of our video, we call them 1% because I mean, to the best of my knowledge, that's what they were calling themselves. But apparently this guy is saying it's lame. So I don't know what they're calling themselves, girl, but it doesn't change what it is that we as ladies are looking for. It's basically non-existent. Honestly, the more I look it up, I'm like, no, there's no males that exist with 100% of these characteristics, even though us as women, we are capable, and a lot of us do exist with 100% of these characteristics. But males can't. They don't. It doesn't matter how much they make. It doesn't matter. I just don't see it. But anyway, let's keep going and see what else he has to say here.
An exceptional man. Not the whole top 1%, oh, I'm high value, look at me. I don't know, I just think all that stuff is fucking lame, honestly. And I would call the top 1% simply the new Renaissance men. So in this video, I'm gonna run through 3 concepts the new Renaissance men live by, and I'm speaking mainly, but it applies to everything in life, concepts to attract the opposite sex. Now, as I alluded to earlier in the video, these are the subtleties, but you still need to get your income up, you need to get your resources up. And recently uploaded a video called How to Get Rich in Your 20s. This has been one of my most popular videos, and it has helped guide a lot of men to making their first income. So I'll go ahead and leave that YouTube video as a first.
I just want to point out that that video, he named it How to Get Rich in Your 20s. Okay. So again, I always say this and I'll keep repeating it in my videos to y'all. If a male, it's like, you got to ask him, what have you been doing your whole 20s? You know what I mean? Because if we're looking for a male that makes a minimum income of $180,000 a year, that's more than doable, right? If you're in your early 30s, if you're 31, 32, you should be well on track, if not already there, okay, as a male, because this is a patriarchy. This whole world was made specifically for your comfort by men for men. So if you can't even amass the minimum level of wealth and resources necessary to take care of yourself and take care of a woman, then what use are you? You're not useful. You're just not useful. You know what I mean? Like, you're a loser. You're a loser on top of a loser on top of a loser. That's a loser. I'm so sorry. By 30 to 31, you should already have this locked in. Honestly. Like, to be considered a 1%, you have to have this locked in by then, because that's over a decade. That's over a whole decade of time. And so if that male is one of the males that's complaining, saying, "Oh, it's unreasonable, da 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 da. How do you expect men to da 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 da?" Okay, you're not dealing with the 1%. You're dealing with the loser. I'm so sorry to tell you, but that's the truth. He's a loser. He's losing at the game that was specifically created for men by men. Complete loser. Complete loser. It's like, what have you been doing for that whole 20s? For the whole decade plus? What have you been doing? You know, you got to think about these things, because it is a patriarchy, and it's the man's job. It is his role. It's his job to make sure that these things are taken care of. Okay, if he didn't do that, he's not a part of the 1%. He doesn't have a prayer in hell. Okay, unless he strikes gold or the lottery or something like that later on, to where he gets a ton of money in a lump sum, and even then he's not going to be a part of the 1%, because he's probably not going to have all the other more important characteristics, like what are the values, what are the ethics, what's the character of this individual, things like that. So keep that in mind, ladies.
Link in the description. Now, one of the most important concepts that the new Renaissance man lives by is making things look effortless. Now, they shouldn't be effortless. We all know that in order to accomplish anything in life, it takes effort and hard work. But everything must appear effortless. Everything must appear as smooth as possible. I'll give you a small example. I would say that 90 to 95% of the time when I'm going on a date, I order for the other person. Now, it's probably a smart idea to suggest it and ask, would you like me to order for the table? And I can tell you from experience, 99% of women would rather the man just take charge, take lead, and just order. So that is one small example of effortlessness. The experience of going to dinner is effortless. She doesn't need to think about it. So I highly suggest you do the same. And in order to do the same, because you don't want to look like an idiot fumbling around, looking at the menu, oh, what should I do? Before you go, study the menu. Or if you're like me, I'm a creature of habit. There's maybe only 5-6 restaurants I like going to. I know the menu pretty much back to front at this point.
I don't really agree with this one. I think that it would come off to me as controlling. If I had a male that just all of a sudden ordered for me and didn't let me order for myself, it's like, does he think I don't have a brain? Does he think I don't have a mind? Especially if it's a male that I'm not familiar with and that I don't know who this person is. That would come off too overbearing to me, and that would come off way too controlling. Okay. Now, I don't, you know, I don't, as I don't mind if he chooses the restaurant, as long as it's top tier. If you choose a restaurant and it's a stupid restaurant, I'm just gonna laugh in your face. So that's a risk if you as a male want to take that risk, because that's what most top tier women, if you're dealing with a top tier woman, you better know what you're doing when it comes to restaurant selection. If you want to be the one that chooses the restaurant, you better know what you're doing, because if it's a top tier woman that you're dealing with and you come with a stupid selection, instead of just asking, because I'm a top tier women, they don't mind if you ask them for a restaurant that they want to go to, they'll suggest something. It's fine, right? But if you want to take that risk on yourself, you better know what you're doing. Because if you come with a stupid restaurant, you're not going to see her, or that's going to be the last time that you see her. Okay. That's just the way that it is. So I don't really mind if they choose that, as long as it's top tier. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're not going to get a text back, right? It's just going to go mute on the other side. I ain't texting you back. I'm not talking to you. Been there, done that. No, sir. No, thanks. All right. So, but when it comes to ordering the meal, no. Unless I say like, hey, what do you think is good here? I don't want you ordering for me, because that comes off as controlling. And quite frankly, to me, that's a little bit scary, because as women, it's like, we are always having to be in this constant mode of like safety first, especially if we're around any males, because these males are so unhinged. They lie, they're super fake, they'll fake all these characteristics, and like, you get hooked on with them through the marriage contract, only to find out it was all a lie, y'all. So, to me, it would scare me, because I'm like, okay, you're just gonna like order for me. What's the next thing you're gonna try to do for me? Like, you're gonna try to force me to dress a certain type of way, tell me how to dress, tell me how to walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just come off too controlling, in my opinion. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below about that particular section, right?
So either study the menu before you go, or just make it a habit of going to the same few places. Now, the next thing is the bill. I highly suggest, as you guys are coming towards the end of your meal, Either you or her will go to the restroom. If she goes to the restroom, square away the bill very quickly. If you know that you're done with your meal, you're not going to order anything else, or vice versa. If you go to the restroom at the end of the meal, just square away the bill while you're going to the restroom. And once again, this is another era of effortlessness. There is no bill at the end, you fumbling for your wallet, trying to pay, trying to maintain conversation while that's happening. Now, I know there might be a very small, stupid subsection of you that are going, wait, but if I do that, how do we split the bill? If you are still the sort of guy that thinks you should go on a date and split the bill with a woman, please just unsubscribe to my channel. You don't belong here. You belong in the kiddie sandpit playing with the other children. You are not a man. And I understand not everyone grew up.
Okay, so if y'all didn't believe me when I was saying it, maybe you'll listen to him. Ladies, if you're a lady and you're still accepting 50-50 treatment from a male, okay, you are not top tier, okay? You are not creme de la creme, okay? You are just I don't even know how to describe you. You're low tier, you're low value, okay? Anyone and everyone can access you, okay? That's it. And you know what? Whatever you allow these males to do, they will do, okay? Anyone and everyone will access you, okay? Any male and every male will access you because you're easy, all right? If you're accepting 50-50 treatment from a male, then you as a woman, you don't know what you're doing, okay? It's unattractive. It is unattractive. It's unattractive to other women that are higher tier and higher class. It's unattractive to men. It is literally so unattractive to men. That's why all of you that accept 50-50 treatment end up being treated so badly. And you don't even know that you're being treated badly because you have nothing to compare it to, because you're so low value from the start. Right? So here he is, he's saying it. He's saying it straight up. Like, what are you talking about 50-50? Like, males, if you know nothing else about males, they like to feel like they are the ones. They like to feel like they're it. It's their ego, right? It's their ego. It's very, very easy to boost that ego. You know what I'm saying? That's what males like. That is what they like. So when you're paying 50% of the bill, it's chipping away at their ego and and their masculinity. You know what I mean? So if you're dealing with a male that's saying, well, how do they pay 50% of the bill if I go ahead and take care of the check? If you're dealing with that type of a male, you're dealing with trash. Sorry, but that's the point blank period. That is trash. That's subpar. And you probably belong together if you accept that level of treatment. Period. You're dealing with a child. It's trash. It's a male that's broke, don't got no money. He's probably super controlling. He's gonna make you suffer. Your life will be wasted. Because the one thing we can't get back is time. You just waste your life for no reason because you don't have any boundaries, because you don't have standards. Okay. And here he is reinforcing it. It's the truth. It's the truth.
With a Middle Eastern Russian background like I have, the way that I was raised by my mother, the man pays for a bill on a date, and that's just not even a question. So I understand that maybe some of you were raised differently. If that is the case, this is probably not the channel for you. I'm trying to educate and nurture the next generation of stand-up men, and for me personally, in my opinion, that is not a very stand-up thing to do, to split the bill with a woman on a date. Now, getting back to the point of the bill, obviously, as time goes on, you can actually start doing things that are even cooler. Things like at certain establishments that you go to often, having the card on file so the bill actually never even shows up. Or for example, with me, my head of security is always on premises wherever I am, so I actually never even pay the bill. The bill is just taken care of, and I just leave. And really, this is what women dream of. This is the stuff of fantasies. And by the way, I'm not saying that you have to be a billionaire here, because I can tell you right now, when I was dead broke first starting my businesses, I still thought about this stuff. Of course, you can't do the whole flex of the bill doesn't come and all this stuff, but I mean, simple stuff. When I went on dates and we would just go for long walks because that's all I could afford, I would plan routes where I knew that there was a nice hot chocolate place or a nice ice cream place. So these are really $10 dates. But if you do it right, if you plan it right, if you make the whole experience effortless, then this is truly the stuff of dreams, of fantasies, of movies. This is stuff that women dream of. It's this effortlessness that everything just seems to be going right. And that's what she sees. And that's what really women want to see, is just effortlessness. And that's why women love all of these romantic movies and these rom-coms and stuff like that. Obviously, she doesn't realize that on the backside, you're here planning everything and making sure everything goes in order. So things shouldn't be effortless, but they should look effortless. Now, effortlessness also reflects on how humble and under the radar you are. Never make a massive deal of something. No need to.
So how do y'all feel about this part? He thinks that what we value is effortlessness. Everything looking effortless. I think that's what, I don't know. So I think that lower class females value that more than higher class women. Okay. I think that there's classes to this. Okay. Pygmisha is the lowest class. Right. Pygmisha will be impressed by anything and everything. You offer Pygmisha 50-50, she'll take it. Okay. I think it's not, I don't know, for higher class women, I don't think, for higher value women, I don't think it's necessarily the effortlessness that we want to see, but we want to see like the effort. So I think I don't know that they have it all the way right. Yeah, we don't want to have to stress ourselves out. That's true. But what we really want to see is not the effortlessness. Oh my gosh, Disney movies. Because if you're trying to get a certain tier of women, we already know life is not a Disney movie. Okay, the tier of women that don't know that and don't realize that life is not a Disney movie, don't even care to do the homework to find out the true character of this male. They'll just jump in bed with him by the second date, right? That's not what we're dealing with here. So for a high tier woman, it's not necessarily about the effortlessness of it. Yes, it does have to be simple. Like we don't want to be all stressed out trying to figure out this, da da da. Like, yeah, you should plan that out. But I think it's the amount of effort that you put in that we also want to see. So what I always tell you ladies, sit back, relax, see what he does. Okay, don't get in your masculine energy trying to plan stuff, trying to force him to go out with you, trying to force him to do this, trying to force him to do that. Okay, if he don't want to do it, he ain't gonna do it, and it's unattractive. It's unattractive. So we want to see that the effort was put in, and that I think that's what's truly impressive. So, for example, if we go to a restaurant and the bill never even comes up as a discussion, and we just up and leave, and it was already taken care of, right? That it's not the effortlessness that really is the hook. It's just the fact that everything was so well planned and all the effort that was already put into it and how organized it's like you're showing leadership characteristics. That's what's impressive. Okay, it's the leadership characteristics, but you have to actually be that. You can't just be faking it for a few dates. You know what I mean? That never ends well. You have to actually be that, which is why the courting process should be, ladies, a minimum of 1 year, because you have to make sure that this individual is actually who he's trying to portray himself to be, but that's what I think. Also, I don't know what he's talking about. I would never even go on a park date. Like, park date, we walking and stuff for a first date. No, we're not doing that. Because honestly, if you're on that level, if you're on that time, then you really shouldn't be dating. As a male, you should not be dating. You should be hella focused on getting things done and accomplished so that you can get to the tier that you need to be. So you're not a loser, okay? Because what are you going to offer a woman when all you can take her on or afford to take her on is on a park date? You know what I mean? Like you can't afford that woman. You can't afford no woman. You could barely afford yourself, right? So you shouldn't be dating, okay? And I realized this because I did this. I indulged it in my 20s as well until I started growing up and growing more brain cells and thinking to myself, complete waste of time. Complete waste of time. We're like, you can't afford a meal. You can't afford a nice meal, but you want to take me out for a walk on a park. Like, if you can't afford it, then your attention is not being you're not paying attention to the right places. And that tells me a lot about your leadership skills. Okay. Tells me a lot about, I'm not going to follow no weak male. Okay. If you're weak and I'm stronger than you, it's not going to happen. All right. And so if you don't even know where to focus on at any given time in your life, that's not a good thing. Right. That's what I think. But let me know in the comments below what y'all think.
Or tell the woman the price of the bill or how much you spent on some new thing that you bought. No need for all this stuff. The less that you flex and the more comfortable you seem. You can still talk about yourself. You can still talk about your achievements. You can still talk about things that are going on in your life. But we all know the difference between talking when addressed or when the time is right, or just weird flexes that are incongruent, that are poorly timed, that the girl or even just people you're networking with are just kind of like, cool, I didn't really ask. You need to remember in general to be the guy rather than telling her you're the guy. Now the next concept is you need to be a modern gent. Here's what I see right now. I see either the black pill or just like the women hating crowd that are like the world is unfair and all this stuff, and they're just like so aggressive this way. And then there's the other end of the spectrum, which is just like the dudes who just watch way too much rom-com and don't understand that they will be trampled over by women. The women in the modern world will eat them alive because they are too nice. They have no boundaries. So you want to be somewhere around, I'd say here, which is a little bit more on the skeptical side, but when the time is right, and by the way, be polite, be courteous, respectful to everyone, but going over the odds to be a true gentleman and give a woman a true gentlemanly experience. Of course, you have to pick the right women. Don't just give that to anyone. So this means having old school gentlemanly values, but understanding the perils of modern day dating. As I said, there's so many women who set out to prey on nice guys. And when I say be a gentleman, some people think I mean be a simp. No, you need to understand how degenerate and crazy the modern dating world is. You need to look at her Instagram and understand realistically what kind of girl is she. You should be able to ask small fielding questions to her, see how she reacts in different environments, and from that derive realistically what kind of girl is she. So definitely you need to learn how to have your wits about you, but once you have fully scoped out a woman and assess the quality of a woman, and if that sounds bad to some people, assess the quality of a woman, well, you think a woman isn't assessing the quality of a man, it goes both correct ways. So once you've properly assessed the situation, don't venture into the
Okay, so what do y'all think about that? He mentioned Instagram, using Instagram. I don't know about that. We might be coming to an age where this is a real thing, where males want to use Instagram. But I think it's stupid for him to say, because when a woman is attractive enough, which it doesn't take much to be attractive enough to a male, they don't care about your Instagram. All right, like they really don't. And it just depends on the guy. And I think it's tacky to say that you know about someone based off of their Instagram. I just think that's tacky because everyone knows that on Instagram most people will try to flex, right? Most people will only show things that they think other people will perceive as good. So I think that this male, I mean, it's like males are delusional. It's like they don't understand women at all. They're so stupid. Like, I'm starting to believe like, it is fundamentally incompatible. It is not even possible to be compatible, being a woman compatible with a man because they're so inauthentic. Look at him talking about go on her Instagram to find out. I have an Instagram and it is not reflective of my Instagram is like a troll account for males. It just feeds my ego. It literally all it does is feeds my ego. It literally. And in real life, guess what? I don't talk to no males. I don't have them in my vicinity. I don't speak to them. That's my real life compared to what my Instagram says, where I have almost 10,000 males on that Instagram and all they do is feed my ego all day, every day. So if you look at my Instagram, you would learn nothing about me because, first of all, I'm a major introvert, super introverted, right? Whenever I get online, do these videos, post on social media, that's the most social interaction for the most part, or if I go to the gym and stuff like that. But apart from that, I'm very introverted and I don't really talk to males. Okay, I know how to stroke their ego. I know how to keep myself safe. And I know how to not respond to them if they're creepy, which most of them, if not all of them, are super creepy. You know what I'm saying? So I think males are just so confused. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the divide is there in communication, but it's like you're going to go on someone's Instagram when everyone knows that Instagram and social media is nothing but flexing. You literally just said that at the beginning of your video, right? Maybe if you're on YouTube, you use the 1%, but you use the 1% wording, but in real life you don't go out and actually use the 1% wording. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you just said that yourself. So it's like, are these males just not capable of complex thinking? I think the problem is these males are more focused on faking it than actually being authentic and being real and actually being interested in learning the real person. For me, I can tell you it's a major pet peeve because it's happened to me before when a male looks at my Instagram and then assumes that they know me based off of my Instagram or based off of my YouTube or whatever the case may be. Because in reality, I'm not as like intense in real life as I am on my social media profiles, right? Because it's social media, right? You want to be hype, you have to be able to speak, and I'm still getting better at like the speaking and stuff, but you have to be able to speak, you have to be hype, excited, because people are watching, right? They're there to watch. It's like an entertainment type of thing and also educational for me. I like more educational content as well. So, if you're a male and you go based on those things, you're gonna get you might get intimidated by me really quickly. Versus in real life, though, I'm pretty laid back. And if I don't want to speak to you, it's not gonna be like this huge thing. Usually, I'll usually make up a million excuses, and unless this guy is just like a parasite and just doesn't get a clue of like, okay, go away, sir. That's the only time now I have to be direct. And I see it as doing the hard work myself. It's like, okay, I'd much rather him do the whole breaking up thing or leave on his own. I don't really want to be the one to communicate those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So so I don't know. I think there's a disconnect here as well. He's like, oh yeah, get on Instagram. Da, da, da. It's like, these males are so clueless. That's why they get with a woman. They're in it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they wonder why it falls apart. Well, it fell apart because you didn't know what you were doing from the start. You know what I mean?
hating territory, because honestly, that's a lot of what the whole Red Pill community has become. They simply can't get over the fact that women in their 20s, especially early 20s, have certain privileges that men simply don't have. All they can do is just cry and think about how unfair the world is. So cut that crap and be a modern gentleman. Now, here are a few examples. Now, the first one is pick up a girl and drop her home. Don't say, oh, I'll meet you there at 9 o'clock. Pick her up on the way. That's a gentlemanly thing to do. And obviously after, make sure she gets home safely. I've already discussed this, but pay the bill. The next simple thing, pull out the chair for her. And here's the next thing, and this might be a little graphic. Make her finish.
The pull out the chair, that's a good one. I like that. It won't get you that many points, but it will get you some, because most males don't do that. The driving, it's like he's not keeping up with the times. I'm noticing this. The driving, picking up the girl from her, I would never allow that. Not in 2023. Maybe when I was in my 20s, but males have progressively gotten worse and more dangerous. And even I know better than to allow a male to know where I live or to pick me up from anywhere. Okay, especially not my home. So now I'm stuck in a car with you. Okay, and you could be a psycho, you could be a murderer, you could be a ton of things, and I don't even know you. So for a first date, that's not gonna work. Okay, because that's just gonna make a woman feel uncomfortable in this day and age. All right, it's like, okay, no, because you could unalive me at any point in time. No thanks. Right, so don't pick me up. It's better if he suggests an Uber come pick me up, and if he pays for the Uber. Like, hey, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I want you to feel comfortable, and I know we're just meeting and we're just getting to know each other. So how about I just Zelle you or Cash App you some money for the Uber for our dates while we're getting to know each other a little bit more. Done, period. That's how you do it. You got to keep up with the times. This is not the 1800s, the 1700s. You just pick up a woman and the woman's like, da 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 da. No, we have social media. We see what y'all do. We see what you males do. We see what you males are capable of. Now, us women are talking to each other. Okay, we have that ability to do so because of the social media. And so, heck no, I'm not getting no car with you. Are you kidding me? Like the only age group this would work with is maybe teenagers, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, even 19, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. They're getting smarter and smarter. Okay, but that's not gonna work with women that know that, with most women nowadays, and more women are learning this. More and more women are learning this. Don't pick me up. Don't even suggest it. Just suggest to pay for my Uber, and suggest like, hey, I know we're just getting to, because men don't think, they don't understand how we think, ladies. They don't understand that being around any male is literally a threat to our very essence and safety. Being around them, just being in their vicinity is literally the biggest threat to a woman's health and safety. Okay, they don't get that. For some reason, they don't get it. They just don't understand that. So it's so weird. Like, it's like, okay, you're trying to tell your crew, your potsy, to keep up with the times and stuff like that, but you're not even keeping up with the times. You don't even know what you're talking about. So where are you getting your advice from? Are you getting your advice from other men, or did you actually ask women? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
First, listen, if you want to get your numbers up and you want to have another notch in your belt, sure, just have sex. But quite frankly, if you want women that are going to stay around for a long time because they respect you, they're obsessed with you, they adore you, then you need to stop watching porn, you need to stop all this over-sexualization, you need to drop your ego and maybe learn a thing or two about female anatomy and the correct way to pleasure a girl. And once again, just a reminder, all of the things that I just listed, if a woman does not treat you with respect, if she is late, if she is on her phone all the time during your date, if she is all of these things, and you still do all of those acts and do it for a prolonged period of time, even though she disrespects you, you are a simp. You are nothing else. You are needy. You have no other options, so you need to tolerate that sort of behavior. If a woman is nothing but respectful to you, on time, listens, is not on her phone, has positive, uplifting energy, and you do all of those things, you are a gentleman. You are the modern gent. So there's a very big difference. You need to understand that difference. Now, the last concept that the new Renaissance man lives by, or the top 1% that I would consider lives by, is never get comfortable. You need to understand that a man who becomes comfortable is the most disgusting thing on earth to a woman. And the funny thing is, she will try to make you comfortable. If you're in a relationship with some woman, they will try to keep you in bed and cuddle, and oh, you don't need to go to the gym, you already went 3 times this week, and all this stuff. You'll have certain women that try to tempt you with morning sex every morning, instead of getting up, training, showering, and getting straight to work. Instead, you're there having morning sex, and then that turns into, oh, let's have some breakfast and watch some Netflix. And by the time you're actually at your desk working, it's like 12, 1 o'clock. So you need to acknowledge that women will constantly test you. They will constantly try to make you comfortable. And being comfortable is how you become complacent and weak. So I'm not saying never have sex, or never cuddle, or never having a morning lay-in with your partner. I'm saying that there's a time and place, and yes, you can do that when you deserve it, when you have accomplished your missions for the week. But I have seen so many incredible men, put aside top 1%, these are the top 0.001%, and they meet a woman, and that woman makes him comfortable, and then the woman resents him, she doesn't respect him anymore, and the worst part is, at the end of it all, she just leaves him. So be proud of your situation, but never be satisfied with where you are.
I mean, it's like it's not because we're testing them. We're women, so a lot of times we want to cuddle and do these things. So as a man, I mean, you have to set your own boundaries too. Just like us women, we have to worry about setting our own boundaries for ourselves. So I don't know what he's talking about. Like, oh, the woman will try to test you. Da 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 da. It's not really that we're testing them. We're not really testing them. We're women, so we like the cuddling and the oh my gosh, you know, this and that and that. But what the fundamental core of what's attractive to human beings in general is, if do you have boundaries, do you have standards? Okay, it's the same thing that women have to do. We have to have boundaries and standards in order to be considered high value, right? So it's the same thing. So the male, instead of blaming us for that, it's like, how about you grow some boundaries and standards? Okay, if you have that, then if the woman says, oh my god, let's cuddle, da 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 da, no, okay, I gotta go to work, and that's a hard boundary. I gotta be at work at 9 a.m. Right? That's attractive. Just like when the woman says, no, I'm not gonna sleep with you on a first, second, third, fourth, fifth date. Who do you think you are? Right? Like, uh, you know, like, what have you done to deserve that? Right? For real men, that's a challenge. What does that mean? It's a challenge. That means they consider that attractive. Okay, they are chasing that because they consider that attractive. So it's the same thing. So that's another thing. That's why I'm like, males are just so delulu, you know, they're so delusional. Even the ones that think they're so great, it's like, you're not, you know what I mean? That's why she ends up leaving, is because you thought that you had the formula, but the whole time you didn't. She was playing you the whole time. She got what she needed, she's out, you know, and that's the way it should be. You lose, you know. So yeah, but he's absolutely right as far as like the male getting comfortable. It's like, no, you can't get comfortable. That's why, ladies, we wait a minimum of a year, 1 to 2 years. Minimum of 1 to 2 years. So we really see what this guy is made of, because if they get comfortable, they did that on their own. That's not our fault. That's not our fault. We want what we want. You know, if we want to cuddle, we want some time, we want to go on dates. These are the things that we like. Okay, what do you want us to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, just like we have to have our own boundaries for ourselves. Okay, males, how about you start accounting for your own behaviors and your own actions? Foreign concept. How about you learn what the meaning of accountability is, instead of bringing up women in all your conversations and all your stupid videos, and then framing it like we're trying to use stupid males for anything. It's like, what are you good for, really? What are you good for? This whole video, you've been faking it, trying to fake it till you make it. You're not even the real deal. All this stuff that you're getting, you're not even getting it from women. It is clear to me, because this says 2023. It is clear to me that you didn't talk to no women in order to get this data. Okay, you've been talking to nothing but males, talking about, oh yeah, they just want a fantasy, this and that, in 2023. Sir, that might have worked in the 1800s, that might have worked in the 1900s. That is not going to work today in 2023, not at the rate at which you males are unaliving women, at the rate that you males are over there in the red pill space complaining about, oh, super extreme feminists and da da da, while you all are conglomerating over there in the red pill space, harassing, talking about women, abusing women. Sir, come on. Like, the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I think he's on the right path. You know, he's not as bad as the ones in the red pill space. But do I think this is a 1%er male? Absolutely not. This is not a 1% male. He's not authentic. He's not sincere. He doesn't even know the right audience, you know, to get the information from. You know, it's obvious he's getting his information from other males on how to interact with women. You want to know how to interact with women? How about you ask women? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? So it's like, it's so logical, you know? So I don't think this is a 1% man. I think that he's better than, you know, a lot of other males out there, definitely. I mean, just by him paying the bill for the date, he's already ahead by like a million miles. But is he a 1%? No, but maybe my standards are just too high. You know what I'm saying? Maybe my standards are just too high. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. All right. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. Okay. Love you so much. Thank you so much. Helps out the channel so much. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.